Yeah, we've got a bent derailleur hanger. You can see it right here. Okay. Hello friends, we've got an old Bull Sora bike which came yesterday. My client drove 100 kilometers here from the big city to let us do the diagnosis together, and then we will do all the things that need to be done on this bike. But today also I have two conclusions and one questions for you guys. The conclusion number one is don't try to transform any road bike into the gravel bike, like every road bike into the gravel bike, okay? You will see some consequences of it. Number two, cheap things can be really good. I myself would buy this bike as a used bike for daily riding, even training. And the question to you guys is, if I was to ride this bike daily, name two things I would definitely replace on it, and I'm not talking about the rear tire, which definitely doesn't match the front one, and it's the gravel thing idea. Okay, let's go and diagnose the bike. So the client came with two bikes. You can see the other in the background, the Scott USA. So that's the bike he's going to still be riding, and this one he will sell. And that's a key info for me, because we're not going to be doing everything on it to make it super. We're gonna make it work, everything will be in a working order, it's gonna be clean, but we're gonna try to save some money here. First off, I don't see a lot of rust on it bike, like hardly anywhere. I see a little bit on the mounting bolts for the stem, and that's it. Maybe there will be some inside the steerer, the headset, and that's it. Let's see the bearings. We've got two bearings right here, upper and lower. First test I'm performing is simply this. Do I hear anything? Do I feel anything? No. But the second test I'm doing also is to push the handlebars just around the straight position. And when the bike stood for a long time, it will often like click and lock into, almost like click, lock into the straight position. That would mean we will have some problems, maybe small one, but some problems with the bearings. You can see, you know, a little bit. This is not the housings that set it straight. There is a little bit of it. So we do it anyway because bike is old and the client says, yes, do it. The brakes, you see there is such amount of play on those levers. That means we have to replace at least the cables, but yeah, probably the housings too. Plus, if you see bent cables, that means we replace them. Straightening them is difficult or impossible. So the brake is spongy. The braking pads are not worn out and they are not adjusted unevenly, so they stay. The bike computer cable, yes guys, we used to use them. It shouldn't be wrapped around the braking cable, so I'm gonna remove it. The front hub, it just spins like new, but we'll still do the overhaul because the bike hasn't been serviced for years. The braking surface is actually like new, and the wheel is almost straight. I'm gonna fix it in like a couple of minutes. The rear wheel braking surface is also really good, but here two problems. Actually three. The wheel is not true, and okay guys, when you replace on the old road bike 23 with 25, it's usually fine, but to put here such a big like a gravel trekking tire, no, it's rubbing the frame. We have one of the spokes hitting the derailleur. Can you see it? So we've got one spoke right here. That means I need to true the wheel, but also definitely will check the derailleur hanger because it might be bent a little to the inside of the bike. And now my friends, old, really cheap, budget Sora drivetrain, it works flawlessly. And as I mentioned, probably the derailleur hanger is a little bit bent. It still works so beautifully. So guys, cheap things can be really good. We've got one problem though. This lever sometimes will lose some gear. So I'm gonna go up the cassette, it clicks, and sometimes here around gear 1 to 3, it wouldn't click. Now it clicks, but sometimes it goes without clicking. That means it can be just dirty inside. Now the bottom bracket, I don't have anything more to say about these old bikes. It's really good, no play. Of course, it doesn't work as new. The new one would stop a little bit quicker because of more grease inside, but I can't hear any rust, no friction there, so very good. The indicator doesn't fall in between the links like this. On 0.5, that means we don't have pretty much any wear on the chain. So we know what we're doing, the client has accepted my diagnosis, and I'm starting with cleaning. So I'm gonna get back to you with clean bike. The bike is clean, and now I'm removing the rear wheel, doing 3 things with it: replacing the tire, greasing the hub, and truing the wheel. And so the gravel trends are pushing some people to replace 23 tires with 35C on this bike. So if you have an old or road bike, just put 25 on it, it will be fine. It won't be a gravel bike. Boom. Truing. Okay, and the wheel looks like this, which is not very good. And what we've got here, this is the fragment of the broken nipple, so we need to replace it. This is how it used to look like. This is one side of the broken, tired nipple, and here's the other. And I can see that some of the nipples are almost broken, like this one. I'm replacing this one too. I didn't record this, but I had to cut this spoke because when the nipple turns with the spoke and you can hardly touch it or squeeze it with any tool, you can just remove the nipple and the spoke. It will be so much faster. The next broken. When you have no chance to actually squeeze the broken nipple and it would turn with the spoke, okay, now I can true it. Here we start from the 0 point, and after replacing 3 spokes, we are within 0.3 millimeters, which is okay. The best thing would be to replace all the spokes, all the nipples, but with this wheel not being worth too much, that's the optimal decision, I would say. It's time for the rear hump. I'm opening the hub. The one side is done. No seals on the Sora hub, but it's been working so fine for all those years. And that spins. The cassette, the tire, and we move on. Here we go. Okay, now just the air. Oh yeah! The rear goes back, the front will be now greased. (13, 17). Dirty and clean. And classa. Now the rear brake cable, cut. The mounting bolt, tack, tack. The first fragment of the braking cable housing goes under the tape. I'm not going to remove the tape because the old one can be damaged when doing it. So we're gonna save money right here, not buying new tape, and it will still work fine. Here's the cable. Okay, this is why it was working so hard. Here is the new braking cable, which I will very lightly lubricate here. Here is very light lubricant. Okay, this is the new part of the housing. Do you remember the play that was here? Now, when I'm starting to apply the force on the lever, I can hear my brakes braking. Jest nieźle. That's cool. Do you want to see how does an old headset look like? It's not bad at all. Let's clean this. Amazing, this bearing is just like new, and there was much more grease from the factory than there is on the motorbikes. The fork. Hop. Hop. Everything has been done so well on this bike because this is old, this is not modern. Whoa, so good. It's time to check the derailleur hanger. Yes, of course. Yeah, we've got a bent derailleur hanger. You can see it right here. That's a lot. And if this was the 1x12 drivetrain, no way this could anyhow work. Now I'm pulling on it. Okay, let's see. This is almost perfect, and I think I'm gonna leave it like that, not to break the derailleur hanger, because I'm not sure you can still find such an old hanger to this bike, and you will see that the derailleur will work well. Looking good. How does the shifting work now, and will the cage hit that spoke? Let's see. This is so light and so good. And now slowly, number one, complete silence. Thank you very much. That's it. This is amazing. I love working with these older bikes. They are so nice to work with. I do like the modern bikes because they are more challenging, and as a bike mechanic you make more money with those motorbikes. But here everything takes so little time, so it's also a good thing for a bike mechanic, and you just kind of like these bikes. For myself, I would put 25C tires. Don't try to make it a gravel bike, it won't be. It's a road bike, and 25C for even some rougher roads, just fine. Brakes, powerful, no problem here. There was no point in relacing the rear wheel with new spokes, new nipples. It wouldn't be worth the time, even the spokes and the nipples, because slightly used rear wheel you can buy for, I don't know, 20 bucks, 25 bucks for such a bike, so no problem with that. Shifting, easy. Another thing I would replace here for me is the 52 chainring. I live in the mountains and I rarely do ride on a road bike on a flat road, so 52 kind of a lot. I have it in my wind space, but I would really like to have less, something like a cyclocross or a junior's bike, really. I don't need to go that fast, that high speed, and still pedal down the hill, so that's not a problem. The bike weighs 10.06 kilo, sweet, super cheap, and eco-friendly bike. This is Aloy. Thanks for watching, and see ya.